Hey, what's up guys, how's it going? It's Cole. So apologies first of all on the delay of the videos. This is the third time I've tried to record this video because basically both times I think the video was just too long, so I'm going to try and keep this under 10 minutes because my editor on my phone just doesn't like it otherwise. So yeah, as I say, apologies for the delay. Now, I just want to start off with obviously my changes and whatnot. Now, a good friend of mine on Instagram called Truest Stealth, I will put his his Instagram name at the end of the video, just so that you guys can check him out because his changes are awesome. You know, he's a great guy, his page is really artistic, and he asked me a couple of questions. So I said I'd answer them in this video. So basically he said, how do you feel since you're on T? What's your before and after feelings, emotional and physical ones? So I'm going to start off with my sort of emotional, just like my emotions, my feelings before and after, because obviously physical, that's, there's a lot more that's standard. So feelings wise, I wouldn't say that I've changed too much, like sort of emotionally, like in the way that I react to things, other than if I watch a sad film nowadays, I just find it easier not to cry, like to hold back tears, which I like because I've never really liked crying at sad films, so that's a good thing, well for me at least. But other than that, I think that's pretty much all that's changed emotionally. Because some guys I hear, they say that the way that they react to things has changed, and for me that hasn't happened. So I don't know, but obviously it's early days, so that's probably why. So feelings and emotions, I mean, they're kind of the same thing. But then when it comes to like social interactions and how you feel about yourself inside, like in a social environment and things like that, that's changed for me quicker than I thought it would, because I'm only just over 1 month in now, 1 month, 6 days on T, as I say. So a couple of things that I've noticed are, for example, when I'm in a social situation beforehand, if, I don't know, say I saw a girl that I liked, I'd look at her and be like, oh, I can't approach her because my voice is too high, and I look, I look about 15, and once I'm on T, then I can do that. Once I'm on T, I can do this. It was always once I'm on T, and now that I'm on T, it's like you can, it feels like I can do almost anything. Obviously I've still got a long way to go, of course, but it's just given me so much more confidence to be able to think, yeah, I can approach you, or like if it's a guy that I've not met before, I just feel more confident, more comfortable in myself. With this just the social interaction. And I know it sounds really simple and silly, but it's so easy to overthink things, especially when you're pre-T, to think, oh, they're going to judge me for this, they're going to think that I'm this, they're going to, and your thoughts just race in your head, and you can't stop them when you're sat in that social situation, panicking. And don't get me wrong, it does still happen now to an extent, but it has calmed down a lot, just because I just feel so much more like, just that I'm accepted, that I'm one of them, like physically, and I feel like they see me like that more, and so that obviously that helps it. So yeah, I'd say that's like before and after T is sort of, it's just given me a lot more self-confidence and inner peace, and it's such a warm feeling. Like, it's similar to, I was trying to sort of think of how to describe this, and so just think of a time in your life when you felt loved and accepted and protected, and there's that warm fuzzy feeling, that deep right in your core, that feeling that only happens now and again. And don't get me wrong, of course I feel all of those things right now in my life, but there's something about being a kid that just makes you, there's a difference to that warmth. Like for me it was Christmas, so like at Christmas time, you get that warm feeling, everything is just, there's nothing wrong, everything is great. And when I think about this journey that I've began and the future that, that's coming for me, that feeling is just there, so strong, and it's such an amazing feeling to experience again. So yeah, I just want to share that with you guys, and I hope that if you haven't found that feeling, you will find it at some point soon, because, it's great. So yeah, moving on to my physical changes so far. I've written it down on my phone, once again, to keep things as quick as possible, because I don't know how well this is going to edit itself anyway, but we'll see. So in the first 2 weeks or so, I will be honest, it did feel like they dragged so much, and the reason for that is because I was there studying myself every single day, and I know it's easy to do, and of course you're going to do it, but any guys that are just starting T, please don't do it, please, because it will drive you mad. you know, after the first 2 weeks I realised, okay, this has felt like about 3 months and nothing has changed. So I just sat back and let life continue. And then next thing I knew, I looked at myself and thought, oh, that's different. So even though it's really easy to want to do it, and you know, you're excited and you're frustrated that things aren't happening quickly, like I completely get it, but yeah, you just need to let life just flow and let your body do what it's got to do, because since I've calmed down and leaned back and let things just happen, I've noticed so much more, and it's so much more rewarding to see those changes. So yeah, that's just a heads up. So as I say, so in the first 2 weeks, I'm going to sort of list, so this is more in like the time order, I'd say, rather than like top to bottom or anything like that. So in the first, I'd say 5 days or so, I was sweating all the time. So I used to sweat on my upper body if I got too hot. You know, I'd have to be really hot to sweat on my legs. But in the first 5 days, it was just all over. It was just like if I got too hot, it was just a layer of, yeah, just like moist, like liquidiness. It's lovely. But it's calmed down quite a lot, so it's, you know, it's good. And I was really, really thirsty in the first few days, and it took me a while to realise for some reason that I was sweating a lot, so that was why I was thirsty. You know, common sense. But yeah, so I experienced quite a lot of different things. So I lost my appetite. I had a really short-term memory. Yeah, I was sweating a lot. Like I was having hot flushes, all sorts of different things, and I was thinking, oh god, am I having a bad reaction to tea or something? And I looked up the symptoms, and I realised that those are all symptoms of the menopause. And so yeah, I think I may have gone through the menopause or some form of menopause in the first 2 weeks, which is good because hopefully that means that nothing else will happen every month from now, but we'll see. So yeah, went through the menopause, which was strange, and during that my scent also changed. So if I were to train, if I were to work out, then yeah, it wasn't a bad smell, it wasn't a strong smell, it was just different, it was just more masculine. But it was only if I trained. Like if I was just sat, you know, if I was just going by about my day-to-day life, I wouldn't, you know, suddenly stink of, you know, just like BO. Like it wasn't anything like that. So that was, yeah, it was good. Like, you know, I've sort of had to implement a few tips and tricks to get, you know, to deal with the difference in scent, which I'll put in another video actually. I think I'll make a video of like dysphoria, like things to ease dysphoria, and just things that sort of help you in the early days, that have helped me at least. Hopefully that'll be helpful for somebody. So yeah, so scent change. Next, my sex drive and appetite. They sort of were randomly peaking. They didn't just increase, they didn't steadily increase. Like, so my sex drive, if I was thinking about something that was just even slightly sexual, the thought would just progress and go a lot further than it would have before tea. And that was in the first 2 weeks as well, along with my appetite randomly peaking, then dropping back to normal. So it was quite strange that it was just randomly just going through the roof and back to normal, rather than what I thought it would do was just like, you know, either steadily increase or just be straight up there and stay up there. But it is what it is. Then my next experience after the 2 weeks, I'd say, was sort of light hair growth. So I have like just more hair follicles on my arms and on my stomach. I've just seen some coming on my legs. My friends are saying that my legs are more hairy, but you know, they were hairy as hell before, so I don't really know if like what the difference is, because yeah, it's just a forest basically. So hey, but yeah, it's like sort of blonde hair. They haven't really got any longer or any thicker or anything. It's just they're just trying to pull through. Next thing I noticed was, before I say this, any friends or family that are watching, next time you see me, just don't mention that I said this because it's a bit awkward. You know, everybody knows that trans men experience lower growth, and if you don't know, you know now. So yeah, just avoid that section of the video that if we talk about it. But yeah, I didn't actually experience any growth myself, but it is more sensitive. So if I'm to cross my legs at any point for any reason, then I'm just more aware of that area. So I'd imagine that growth is soon to come, which I'm not really fussed. That's one of the changes that I've just been indifferent about. Still am. It is what it is. You know, whatever. Now, oh yeah. So after the 2 weeks, so once I hit the sort of 1 month mark, my appetite increased a lot. So it's got to the stage where I'm now So I eat, and then an hour or two later, I feel like I haven't eaten all day. It's just my stomach's completely empty. I'm starving, and I just need to refuel again. So it's quite expensive. So I'm just sort of finding ways to deal with that. But yeah, that's what it is. So also my sex drive is slowly increasing. As of like after the month, it sort of stopped peaking, and now it's just steadily sort of becoming more and more on my mind. I don't really know if I'm looking forward to that too much. I don't know, because it's nice to think about stuff that's not about sex, and I don't really know how my mind's gonna be. Like if it's just gonna be like always like, oh, there's sex, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that change so much. But I'm sure I'll find ways to distract myself if it does irritate me that I can't stop thinking about it. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And finally, the last change I've experienced, and this was literally in the past 6 days. It's quite funny because in the first video that I recorded for this 1 month, my voice hadn't changed at all. But in the past 6 days, my throat's been killing me. Like yesterday, it felt like there were shards of glass in my throat and I was swallowing. Yeah, it was just bad. And I woke up this morning, it was fine. But my voice just, I don't really know how much different it sounds to you guys, but it just feels more bassy in my throat. Yeah, it's great, it's awesome. This is one of the changes that I was most looking forward to, so I'm just like hoping and waiting for my next voice drop. Obviously I'm extremely happy with this one that I've experienced so far. So it's just nice not to, be in a public place and somebody speaks to you and you think, okay, how's it going to come out now? And then you just take steps to try and lower it before it's coming out, and sometimes it just comes out as a little squeak. But now it's just like this. Currently, I mean, it's only been a couple of days since it's been this deep, but currently it's coming out quite, continuously this pitch, I guess. So yeah, so those are pretty much the changes that I've experienced over this past month and a week. Apologies again for the delay on the video. Hopefully this will edit a lot better. Yeah, so that's about all that I have for you today, guys. So I hope you have a lovely day. As I say, there will be another video to follow, and of course 7 Trans Guys is back on track, so check out that page as well. Just type in 7 Trans Guys all in one word on Instagram, and you'll see me and my brothers all putting up our videos on certain topics that we choose. Alright, so as I say, speak to you soon. Peace.